I'll go Scotland. We'll discuss that next week. I called Scotland, England last week.
Yep.
I called it.
To say again.
I called it.
I
called it.
Yes.
I said Scotland are going to beat England. And I was right.
The Shimmy, the visionary.
Finn Russell plays against South Africa. In the first 10 minutes, he's on the deck 4 or 5 times. We don't allow him to run onto the ball. You've got to shut him down.
Ireland to beat England. This is
Call it
at an
Shimmy.
odds
Come
of
on.
6.20.
That's so
Call it.
bad.
I'm calling it again. I'm calling it again. Just follow me.
Everyone rolling? I'm ready.
Okay, and action.
Thank you. Welcome back to another episode of the Boks Unpacked. We're here at the Scaliano, and the man himself is back with Jean de Villiers. He's going to tell us all about his weekend. But I look forward to this one. Six Nations, a major upset. We won't talk about it now. We'll talk about it later in the show. But first things first, let's get straight to business. Scala, rained out first
John,
day. How was it?
No, but he must start on Monday. He must
Yeah,
actually
tell us
start.
about your week. Your hard week.
He must start from the Friday prior to that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I can't even
Yeah.
remember that. I would have sex under
Joburg cricket trip. yeah.
Joburg cricket trip.
Okay.
Bryanston Friday night. Played at the high ground at Stadium. So he's ever been there. It's basically a Portuguese tavern overlooking the cricket ground.
Oh my goodness.
So we got there
What
at
time
2
was the first
o'clock.
ball?
First ball was 2 o'clock.
Your first castle?
There was no castle there. I dubbed it the Scala Artois. I got Scala Artois. Obviously, I think my resistance to castle is slightly higher. I think I was speaking Swahili by the end of the T20 match. So that was Friday night. Kicked on, stayed at Zama and Bryanston.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, a few more dads arrived. Full day at Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to the same restaurant,
Yeah.
the higher ground, and then we kicked on Zama, who I was staying with. He went to watch the Lumineers
Okay.
out in Pretoria,
nice.
and we walked back 12:30. They walked back 12:30, and I think we kicked on to 3. Long day Sunday, went all the way out to Jeppy. Took a little photo there of the Jake Whitefield.
south, yeah?
Down south. Got back here, packed my bags, got into bed 12:30, 4 o'clock wake up call, Plet. Got to Plet, quick little meeting, Jar Cullis.
Basically played Rage.
Yeah.
He did play Rage.
Jar Cullis, Mark Boucher arrives.
Yeah.
We decide, okay,
Is this in plate?
in Plet.
Yeah.
We're going to play Plet Golf Club Monday afternoon. 9 holes, thunderstorm, called off the course.
What do you
Poor
do
things.
then?
Then
What
we
do you do then?
We drank Worcester Chardonnays, which is, for those who don't know, brandy and ginger ale
Jesus, Scala.
with colours. Monday night, got a little bit out of hand, not too bad. Tuesday, went back to Fancourt, tried to play a bit of golf, got rained out again. Stayed with Dark Colours Mark Boucher. Can you imagine how that went? And Wednesday, Dardata started. All ready for Thursday. Thursday rains out. 11 o'clock sitting in the bar. Friday played a bit of golf. Saturday, pretty much no golf. Saturday night, big one. Trying to keep up with John Barney Smith.
How was that? He was your roommate, eh?
Him and Stephen Kitts of Schalk Brits.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering, Schalk Brits is getting weirder by the second. Nothing's changing there. Yeah, bomb squad,
Yeah.
plenty of it. And John Smith, he's looking decent shape, Barney.
I saw him last week at the polo.
Yeah.
But he was man
Looking
of the
very
match.
skinny,
Like
yeah.
we got messages abusing us for
Not
going to
very
bed,
skinny.
for getting into bed earlier than him. I think he had 2 o'clock every night. It was a good
Relentless.
form.
Relentless.
Couldn't keep up with the Barney. Hey, he was unreal. Got back yesterday afternoon. Here we are.
JDV, how's your Valentine's Day?
One of my kids slept over with a friend. One of my other kids had a friend over, so we just went for a
You and
nice
Popsy?
lunch. No,
With the
we
other
had
two?
lunch with the kids. Yeah,
Okay, cute,
Nothing too special, but
Flowers?
a nice relaxed weekend. Watching the rugby. But I was a little bit tired this weekend, so it was good just to relax.
You still
Not do
look-
too
you
much.
Still look tired. I'm the one that should be battling it.
Yeah,
Actually.
and kids
I
sport,
spent-
Yeah, it's plenty.
It's kids
I
sport.
I spent Saturday afternoon at scaffolding in Alberton. Doing it was the beginning of the Women's League.
Oh, yes.
The Lions against Eastern Province Queens.
Big game.
And?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was a good game. The game was bloody good.
Yeah.
I just never been to Alberton in my life. I think it was my first time there.
I don't think I've been to Alberton.
I played.
I actually
I
realized
played
when I
rugby.
drove in there. I don't know. I'd actually thought I'd actually never
I
been
played in Alberton 1998, the school tour. We played against Mare Villiers. That's in Alberton.
But would Alberton, that's Lions too. It's not Falcons, it's Lions.
No,
yeah.
Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big rugby club. Look, there's under 21s, juniors. It was actually quite nice to see a good community club like that. Because a lot of people say club rugby is dead, but you got their big crowd.
Nice.
Under 21s, and I think under 21s, they've got 5 or 6 teams, 1 or 2 ladies teams. So it's actually quite nice.
What time was the kickoff? Did you?
No, 1 o'clock. So I did in and out. 1 o'clock. So I was back.
So
back in Cape
so
Town by
you
7.
chose to spend Valentine's Day like that, watching other women play.
It was, just repeat that. Calm down, Julius.
No, I mean,
Sorry, let's move on.
I'm just in your wife's corner here. That's
Duty
rude.
calls.
That's rude.
Someone needs to do the commentary on the game. So someone needs to work.
Okay.
The same way there was I don't know, what if two teams playing there, they'd have loved to spend Valentine's Day
No, it's true.
with their significant others. He wasn't playing golf.
I was playing golf.
He was.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing golf either. That's even makes it even worse. I was having a long lunch. Meant to play golf.
Did you watch the T20? The cricket?
Only the highlights.
What do Boucher and Callis say about that? I mean, South
Only
Africa's going nicely.
Only the highlights. Markram, boys. Oh, wow.
No, but wait. Let's
How
go.
good was that bloke?
Let's go.
Or you're talking about the
Afghanistan.
super over?
Let's go
Yeah,
Afghanistan
the super over,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Coach
I was
Barone
on
watched
that.
Boy,
That's
thank you.
ironically, we were following it on our phones, and where we were going. We had number 6, 7, 8, and 9 over left from Otaniqua. So we're down the bottom there. Started at number 10. Boys, how mad was that?
Crazy. So many moments in that game. If you just take the
Super overs.
well, no, but even prior to that,
Yeah.
you know, the no balls,
the last over.
the run out,
The wide.
the wide, I mean, it's
Unfortunately,
too
I had
much.
to break away and play a golf shot every now and then. And by the
But
time
too
you
much
finish
has
your
happened.
golf shot, and I do play very quickly, I basically put it down, hit it. Another 6 things has come through from, oh no, they've hit another 6 of Maharaj. You know, they need 24
That's
of the
crazy.
last one. They've hit 3 in a row.
Were you surprised that Maharaj was bowling the final over?
I think so. You know, like just from history, you think like a spinner's just easy to get a 6 off.
get to, yeah.
You know, but like everyone was traveling. It's not like, you know, Ngidi or Rabada wasn't going. When they said super over, I thought Plunky Jansen's going to go.
But also, like, if you go into, and I suppose you never plan to have 2 super overs, but the 4 batsmen that we so to have Markram,
Yeah.
Brevis, Stubbs, Miller. Did he not even using Rickleton,
Quinny.
I mean, you know,
That
we've got
batting
proper-
lineup's power.
Chances of winning this one?
Look,
No, we are.
Well,
No chance.
keep quiet.
No.
We have got no chance.
That's our producer Freddie's name. It's coming home for
Yeah.
Freddie. It's
coming home,
we're not saying anything.
Keep quiet.
Keep hush, silence.
AC under 20s in Georgia. They're off to Georgia for 3. Have you guys ever toured Georgia?
No, never.
No.
I actually played a game against Saracens Tbilisi, but they came our way.
Yeah.
Played them in Barnet.
I must say, I was very impressed by Flecky's comments about the under 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Good insight. I mean,
yeah.
he basically said, so it's a better than last year's team and fantastic talent.
And has he been spending some time with footy in the under 20s?
They played UCT, played
played
yes,
them, okay.
so he saw them, and yeah, he was very impressed. And I think it goes deeper than just the talent. I think the fact that he was saying they communicate so well, they talk about the game so much together to kind of improve and get better and understanding the game rather than just playing. I think that's the impressive part, and it shows the professionalism with which these kids come into those environments now compared to certainly when we played.
6 Nations.
Yes.
Sean, you said France would win
Yes.
the competition.
Yes. I
We said
did.
England.
Yeah.
Did.
It's France, advantage France from this weekend.
It
Of
is.
course.
What a weekend it was, though.
But yes, what a weekend it was, and also what's to come.
Yeah.
So I think it can be wide open after this weekend as well, because
What about Italy, boys?
no,
Italy are playing well.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Italy are playing well.
don't think that Italy can't beat France.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Where it's in Italy.
It's in Italy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and the Ireland-England game also same thing.
Yeah.
You know, Ireland had an
Ireland are
iffy
desperate.
performance.
Yeah.
England had a poor performance, so much to play for there. And then Wales, Scotland. You know, again, who knows? Maybe Wales beat Scotland this weekend. From what we've seen,
The best thing Gregor can do is change that Scottish team around completely. Because I think that emotional high of playing England, you won't get it again. Rather change the team, mix it up, put a whole bunch of players in, and let these guys that beat England play the following week.
Gosh, there was not a single player from Edinburgh in that side.
yeah.
I think it was the
In the
first
starting-
time in
in the
I don't know
starting
how many
team, yeah.
years.
I mean, that's incredible.
It's Glasgow.
And the Calcutta Cup, boys. I mean,
With Finn Russell, yeah.
I mean, he just fires up for that one.
But that
Yeah.
Scottish team, it's a bipolar team. It's like you cannot play in such a way where they looked like bloody world beaters on the weekend.
They were brave.
and then so poor. Whenever they play anyone else, and I think we touched on it last week, is that I think the conditions played 100% in their favour as well. You know, nice dry weather. They can play the way that they want to play, and they just don't have the ability to play any other style. So when it's wet, you know, you kind of your odds of winning goes down significantly because I don't think they've got the ability to play otherwise.
Arundel gets yellow carded. First
Also,
one.
big.
Yeah.
That's
Forget
harsh.
about, yeah.
Okay, so he said for never releasing this, definitely release. He maybe put his one hand past the ball.
Yeah.
The angle didn't quite show it. But that yellow card for me is harsh. Obviously, off the back of a line break, Nick Amashikeli puts him in the bin. Straight off the back of that little tip on from Finn is
Yeah.
unbelievable to put Hugh Jones. But then the next set play was so nicely done.
Oh yeah, for the
So
second
nicely
try.
done, where it's like
Yeah.
the dip out, 8 plays it to 12-2 Pelota with a loose forward. Out the back, normally, first ball goes to Finn Russell, doesn't go to him, goes to Ben White.
Yeah.
They use Hugh Jones short, out the back, Finn Russell with the winger on his shoulder. They get him behind. and
With
then-
one less defender that
with
side.
one less defender on a Rindle's side. And then off the back of that, instead of giving the defense chance to recover by another ruck, Finn Russell, Tui Pelota, big ball. Jamie Ritchie just basically walked 5 meters
Yeah.
forward from the lineup and then scored a try. And when they play like that, and then we're not even talking about the next one where he did the little get out of jail card, chip and chase, poor Ellis Genge, you know, the bounce of the rugby ball.
He shouldn't have been there.
Lucid
Yeah,
Prop
yeah.
does
You
well
give
to
him the
get
effort,
there.
yeah. He does well to get there, yeah.
You know, unfortunately, the ball, like it's easy to slide on something that's on the deck. When the ball's bouncing around, you almost got to pick it up.
Yeah.
But it's spanning stations for him. And, you know, you can't chase the game. What was it, 70-0, 90-0 after no time? And then Arundel comes back, and then the second one's yellow card, so he goes up for the red. The one that you can debate's the first one, unfortunately.
Do you think like the second one could be a straight red in any case? Just in isolation.
No.
I think Carl Steyn lands fine. You know, if Carl Steyn lands on his head or shoulder, that's straight red, second one.
But again, now there, I feel that's where players can kind of manipulate
Yeah.
the situation as well.
Yeah.
Where I think that the fact that he was never in a position to go up for the ball, and the fact that he totally takes his legs out underneath him, that to me was an extremely dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes it's not that dangerous situation. The guy kind of lands on his neck / shoulder, but the effect that it could have isn't that bad. So I'm not saying
John,
it is. I'm saying purely by the laws.
Did he take his eyes off the ball? Though? I was
He
watching,
didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't.
He was watching the ball,
Nah.
so he can't see. So he's watching the ball. He's watching, and then Steyn goes up earlier.
But that's your responsibility as the chaser.
You've got to be in a position to catch the ball.
Yeah.
And he was not in the air. So, and also I think with outside backs now, if you go on a yellow card like for repeated infringement or deliberate knockdown, the aerial kicking game, I think you've got to be on the safer side
yeah.
with the aerial contest. You know that some of those balls that just sits up on top of you can get up. But that one that you think you're in doubt,
Rather bail out.
rather bail out because you
Make the
can't
tackle.
run flat up and jump.
Yeah.
You've got to gather yourself to get up. So, your error in judgment. And look, and we're not taking anything away from Scotland. I mean, the way they started, tempo, Finn Russell was unreal. Pack of forwards held their own because that's the one area where if a side slows down
Yeah.
or the French put them in a box and they get into their own 22 and they start running at them, I don't think they've got the firepower to keep them
Shims,
quiet.
do you think they were England? They were unlucky that they didn't force the yellow card from a scrumming point of view. Because
It's always so ref dependent in terms of the scrums,
Yeah.
because there's collapses, knee on the ground, no scrum
Was it
completions.
just after halftime?
So a couple of things-
Ferguson went on a
Yeah.
3 in a row. And then,
Yeah. So a couple of things
team
for
warning.
me in that I think England had total dominance. I think we can
Yeah.
agree on that.
Yeah.
But then the words from
Nika,
from
Amashikeli.
Nika,
Amashikeli, yeah.
Amashikeli, was three from Scotland. He's on a warning, scrum warning.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't
Didn't pull the
okay.
trigger, yeah.
It wasn't your scrum is on a warning. It's
Yeah.
like he went deliberately only number 3.
Yeah.
Whereas normally it's like you're on a scrum warning. You've conceded too many scrum penalties, so I can
Yeah.
yellow card.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then he was then also there was penalty advantage to England at the one scrum.
Yeah.
But then they went on and played, and then eventually it was advantage over. So they never went back to
Back
the penalty.
to the penalty.
Whereas if they had gone back to the penalty, that potentially could have been a yellow
should have
card
been a yellow card.
situation.
Yeah.
Or is the question that it should still have been a yellow card?
Yeah, I think it should still be a
Yeah.
yellow card
Yeah.
because of the infringement and the
They probably
team
got
Yes.
away with one day. Look, I find it tricky because scrums are collective. If you go in the mall and you dive down and you collapse it, but a scrum is if you just like the Boks do it every week. They just overpower teams.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how do you choose which one in that team?
Exactly. So it
To
needs to be
give a
clear.
yellow
Yeah.
card. You know what I mean? Unless a guy's diving down to ground deliberately or collapsing, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you
we
beat him
swimming
further-
his shoulder.
Yeah, the
or
whole
he's
time. Yeah,
going for the hole
and it's an
early.
individual stuff. But sometimes, just as a collective, you just get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Talk
the
about
thing.
scrums. Italy.
So impressive. They dominate. Take Furlong got
Yeah.
flipping lifted
You got
like
air
a.
miles.
You got
there.
air
He
miles.
was, yeah.
That pack of Ford.
They've gone back to the older team. Remember
was
Castro Giovanni?
unbelievable.
Remember that gang? That's what it looks like. And you give a backline like at a platform.
We've always said it. Like last year, we had 3 fixtures against them as Springboks. Not a single one was easy.
Yeah.
The one in November obviously went down to
Yeah.
14 man early, then had another yellow card. So we played bulk of the game with 13 players. But in South Africa, how competitive they were at the breakdown,
Got a good
at
coach.
the maul,
Yeah.
at the scrum. They're going to be very hard to put away in this Six Nations.
Yeah.
And also,
It's also a
Scala,
team
like,
that's been together for long. You look
Yeah.
at those centres, the
Yeah.
fluff, they've been together for a
but
while.
I mean, Brex didn't even play on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you also take Ireland then on the other side. What do they want? You know, for Ireland to play when they do play well, they want rhythm. They want quick ball at ruck time. They want kind of that nice flow to the game. That is exactly what you don't get against Italy.
No.
And I think that we said it last.
Hurt
it's
your
gonna be-
breakdown,
yeah.
slow it down,
You know,
get you into
you
a
don't want that.
fight. Yeah.
Also-
And it was a prop. That was a proper fight. It could have gone.
Also, you don't get dominance up front, so you've got to play rugby against them. Then your pivots become super important.
Yeah.
In Casey, Prendergast on the weekend, there's always a little bit of a question mark around their performances.
And a bit more static, like.
Yeah, you don't have that little move, and then obviously, Gibson Park comes on, and immediately they look a little bit more fluent and a little bit more in sync. Big moments in that game. 2013, Italy on attack. Hanyani,
There was that
Does he chuck-
forward pass.
Does
yeah.
he chuck it? Does he chuck it over the top and find the guy? Holds onto it. James Lowe intercepts, and all of a sudden, the fuse and they escape.
Yes,
A
I was.
game that I think Italy deserved to get something more out of it.
Ireland have got a big game in them, I think. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be England. Ireland, England, I think that's where we're going to see the Irish.
I think this
They've got a big one.
French game this weekend.
Yeah.
Remember they should have beaten France. What
That
was it,
was
2
the
years
whole
ago?
debacle with Gabisi kicking
Yeah.
and the was it
You
the
reckon
doctor,
the
the
French
doctor
could
stopping
just be.
We'll get to the predictions later.
him? Okay.
Cody from Paul has sold multiple vehicles to We Buy Cars. Suspicious? I think so.
Is that a crime?
No. Where are you getting the cars?
I buy them and I sell them at the spot like a normal person.
Okay.
No, man, I'm just an accounting student. I know a good deal when I see one.
That's Excel. Meant. What's more stressful, tax season or selling a car at We Buy Cars?
Tax season, obviously.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Okay, guys, back to the Scotland-England game. Scotland now. Is their game plan tailor-made to almost beat England? Is it, why did they almost find space? Look at Carl Steyn.
Yeah.
Was brilliant.
Good.
Yeah.
Duan van der Merwe against England, always good.
past.
They seem to be braver, managed to get around the rush, over the top. Is it just something in the Scottish game plan or the way Gregor coaches that exposes England the most?
I don't.
It's not the first. It's not the first time we saw this. It's not the first
It's-
time.
It's not, and I don't know if there's is there the fact that there's more to it. Is it the
But for
Calcutta
England,
Cup?
also there's more to it.
Yeah.
But maybe from a Scotland, I'm saying I'm raising. I'm not saying that it is that. What we do know is that the way that
It's almost like Paul Boys beating Paul Jim at the end of the season this last year.
Number 1 in the country, number 2 in Paul. That's exactly it.
is that Scotland.
I'm just saying, is there more to it?
I think at the moment they've got a couple of big name players who steps up in that fixture. Finn Russell, Hugh Jones.
Yeah.
It just comes down the way Scotland plays. They can't suffocate, strangle. They've got to play a high tempo game. And for some reason, England's defence, they're always willing to get the second, third pass in play, get the winger, get over the gain line. They never actually ever go one-off runners or get caught behind. If Finn Russell plays against South Africa in the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, he's on the deck 4 or 5 times. We don't allow him to run onto the ball. Like even that, we've mentioned it earlier, Ben White's try where he gets the chip. There's a position to put him away, 10 meters behind the gain line. He spins out of that one, gets past the next bloke, has the time to sort of jog through and get the chip kick.
Yeah.
You've got to shut him down. But I think where the Springboks have the advantage is we suffocate and strangle from set piece immediately.
Yeah.
And then it makes it harder. You've got to force it as number 10, and Finn Russell will keep on forcing it because he backs his skill set. On the weekend, when he runs the show and he's in control, I mean, it's a different kettle of fish, the Scottish side. And when they get when they get cut off short, then you overwork the forwards because the forwards then can't be in that pot of 9.
Yeah.
Flanking the trams, like you see with the Jamie Ritchie try, which is perfect for them. Obviously, having a winger off is not ideal when Finn Russell is stringing passes together. But you see it in the amount of space that Carl Steyn had. And he also, a few times where there's a dead end, cuts back, works on the catch-up defender, gets past him, gets a little offload away. He was exceptional.
I also think, like Shims, it's always easier to revert back to something that you've done successfully in the past.
Yeah.
And I think they've been so successful against England the last 5 years that they can always revert back to saying, this is the way that we play.
Yeah.
This is the way that we need to play this weekend. And that style of play just suits them perfectly. Whereas maybe in the other games, they're like, how do we beat them? Because we haven't beaten them. It's wet now, like the previous weekend, rainy weather. Do we now adapt? And then they're kind of caught in between. Whereas it feels like when they play England, they know exactly what they want to do, how they need to execute, and then it's just about doing it. And for the last number of years, they've been doing that brilliantly.
You can't put enough money on a fast start.
Yeah.
You saw the previous week.
17 points down, you blinked. Yeah.
They got on a slow start. And historically, Ireland was the fastest starters in world rugby. The way they put you under pressure right from the get-go. They're battling to find that form. All their games then become a bit of a wrestling match. Now, Italy had the perfect start this weekend against him. So that fast start for that Scottish side where everyone sort of is asked to run onto it, handle, execution's accurate. Because if they don't play well, the execution's quite poor.
Yeah.
And they lose a lot of rhythm and momentum through error rate, just plain error rate, like passes going down to ground.
The big change, I suppose, where Scotland was that charge down.
Yeah.
Because that brings it down to 8 points. England are climbing. They've got a better scrum. They're sort of getting back into it. That was a massive moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously ran out of options. But, I mean, you're chasing a game as the drop goal on. It's not like you're 8 points behind with 5 minutes to go and you have to go score another one. You kick the drop goal, you're 5 points behind, and then you go try and win it by holding onto the ball for 5 minutes. What was it, 10 minutes out? You're trailing... what was it, 34...
24-13.
24-13.
So again, the 3 points takes you to 8.
Yeah.
And you
It
still need
takes
to
you
score
out of
twice.
You've got to go score the try there, and then you can maybe have the drop goal coming back. But I don't think it was the right call. Obviously, the work rate to get the charge down and then the follow-up from Hugh Jones You score some crackers against England, those you, Jones.
Yeah, but
Check, yeah.
just on that point, Shimmy, is that for George Ford, it's also reverting back to what he's done previously. So kind of he's done that so many times where they're not going anywhere.
Sits in the pocket. Pops it over.
Pops it over for 3 points, and then you start building again. So he went back to that, but work rate wise from Scotland's point of view, to be able to be there for you, Jones, to run, so. Was it Cummins that did the charge down?
The charge down, I think so, yeah.
And Hugh Jones coming from the right-hand side, he was also chasing and then supporting on the left. It's
just like all those drop goals. If it's that slow and that static, it's almost impossible to get a clear drop shot away. Like if there's a bit of momentum,
the guys, the chasers are waiting.
If you're in a momentum and someone's running around the corner, you got to sit for that bloke. The ball goes out the back. You never get to the 10. So, as I mentioned, just no other options for England. And also, like all these games, we said it before, and there's a time when you have a winning run where that lapse in performance does come in. How many did England end up? 12?
12. Do you think they're getting carried away with it, maybe? It's always the risk. You can't. If you look at head-to-head against Scotland, I mean, how many games? I think it's 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
Head-to-head, England against Scotland.
Yeah.
5 in the last 6 years, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And last year was close.
Surely you got to learn somewhere along the line.
It's a bogey team.
Yeah,
has to be. It's almost like back in the day when the Springboks went to Brisbane.
Yeah, couldn't win.
We couldn't win in Brisbane.
Suncorp
was our nemesis.
Hugh Jones, Scotland's top try scorer in 6 Nations, 18 tries already. You played with Jones here.
I did. Yeah.
Good man.
Very good man. Eh?
Good on the beers.
Loves it. But like him and Tuipulotu just work.
Yeah.
You said it before, and they make such a big difference in that Scottish setup. Tuipulotu is competitive bloke. You saw him flying around there. His Southern Hemisphere centres. Aussie and a little hybrid. I mean, what is this guy? He's English.
Would he have qualified for South Africa? If he had stayed long enough, he would have qualified for the Springboks. Yeah.
English-born, Welsh name, playing for Scotland.
Learned his rugby in South Africa.
Learned his rugby at False Bay and
UCT,
I think what impressed me about you, because there's always a bit of question marks in terms of his defence, if there's anything,
if there's a weakness,
a weakness. But this weekend, even defensively, so solid, making big hits, making good reads, and just work rate wise from all the Scottish players getting off the ground. Once you see that, then you see the team and the team's in a good space. I think from Gregor Townsend's point of view is how do you replicate that week in and week out, because they just don't have it yet.
And there was a lot going on. Like one for Gregor Townsend, if he doesn't beat England, then where does he go to next? So there's desperation. But how do you coach that desperation in any team? Like you've got to have that desperation every week, and that's what the good sides do.
Yeah.
They get to that level almost every single week. Where the Scottish side, I don't know if they can maintain it, or do they put such a big effort in this game that the coming week there's a drop, almost like the Argentina of old, where they put everything into one week and that's their week.
It's also the French of old. They never had that. Change the team around. We've seen it with the Springboks. You tweak it around. You emotionally you can't get the same high.
Well, we've seen with our Springbok side, the way we play, if we pick the same side 2 weeks in a row, there's a massive drop-off in performance. You think that World Cup 23.
She was that England game.
And you think the Irish second test match in Durban, where it was 23-23, and the next week half our team broke down and, we ultimately lost that test match.
It's also, is one good performance a year and, one good result a year against England good enough to stay in the job?
If you ask the general bloke in Scotland, yes. It is. If you ask every South African rugby player, the answer is probably also yes.
It's one of those questions, would you rather win your derby game at school and lose the rest, or lose your derby game and win the
derby game?
Exactly.
Well, there we go. Question answer.
Scotland season's made now. It's done though. Guys, we're going to pick a South African 15 made of players born in South Africa but playing for other countries or with an ambition to.
With an ambition to?
Yeah. It says with an ambition to.
That's a lovely open-ended question.
Okay. Should I start 1 to 5?
Yes.
Will you start?
Schoeman, Rob Herring, Tight head there isn't. Peter de Villiers is the only one I can think of.
Like in Peter de Villiers that played against
Prop,
us.
yeah.
So this is not current. This is, or is we
Yeah,
trying to keep it current?
we try to keep it as current as possible.
Okay.
Unless you can think of another tight head that's played.
No.
There hasn't been any.
VPNL.
Yeah, Viepinal, Peter
Yeah,
de Villiers.
WP or
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Dave Ribbons played for England,
Yeah.
and I'd look at probably Jean Claire.
But he did play
But,
for
yeah,
South Africa.
he
No,
did
they,
play.
No, he played.
no, but he played for South Africa.
He played
plays for South
plays
Africa.
for South Africa. Played for-
Willemse then. Played for
yeah.
France. Thank you very much. Let's move on.
I actually wanted to plug. I actually wanted
very
to
much.
plug Dave Ribbons in on flanker there, Shim.
You can take him if you take Klein then to.
No. Okay, we will come up with someone else. I need some help then. I've got Ross Vincent at 8,
The Italian, yeah.
Italian. Then another Italian on blind side flanker.
Seb Negri, yeah.
I'll go Seb Negri.
Yeah.
And then who do I get on open side flanker there? There's all Italian loose. Bramstein?
He
was good.
Yeah, Bramstein.
It's Bramstein, eh?
He was Italy also. No?
Yeah, also.
Yeah, Italy. Yeah.
yeah.
I've gone
It was
full-
Italy, 2019 World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
I mean, obviously in the past we could go to Scotland and there was a whole host of them.
Yeah.
Not anymore. They're not playing
Josh
for them.
Strauss.
Josh Strauss, Dylan Richardson.
There you go.
Where is he now?
Oh, you can go
He's at Edinburgh.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go Dylan Richardson. then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just swap it up.
I could put him to hook.
Bram
also,
was
yeah.
in. Bram's just got any. He can do a Dion Branasfuri. Number 9. Jeez, boys, I don't think we've got any number 9s. But USA, Ruben De Haas.
Yeah, there we go.
Is he still present?
De
Yes.
Haas.
Ruben,
He was.
Ruben De Haas.
Who did he play for? USA.
USA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and the Cheetahs. He
Yeah.
played for the Cheetahs as well.
And then fly off, I don't think there is anyone. I've been thinking about it. But the best fly off then, if you go Peter
Who'd be
de Villiers,
fly off? Yeah.
I'll go Mike Cat.
There we go. That's a long time. That's,
Is he still playing?
that's 30 years ago.
No, he's about 36 and 07, but he's still playing.
That's 30 years. Okay.
I've got Mike Cat.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, he's
Hey, can you help me with any other fly offs?
Yeah, Andrew Mertens.
Well, you're born in South Africa.
Yeah,
he's
that's
Kiwi.
his born year. We can.
It's the same year. No, Mike Cat was after him, surely. Mertz, old Mertz.
Mertz, same time.
Same time.
No, Mertz was young. The World Cup. He was 21 then.
No,
95 World
No,
Cup.
but
yeah.
but was Mertz still playing 2007? Because my cat played against.
Yeah.
He played World Cup 07.
No, I think.
No, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Dan
Cat.
Carter.
No,
No, but Cat was.
Cat
Yeah,
played
yeah.
07. Yeah.
So,
that's- yeah, he was, you're right.
most recent, Mike Cat.
Yeah, my Cat.
He was playing 12, though, but he's moved to 10.
Yeah, my
I
cat.
mean,
He
Cat-
played 07
No.
World
Go
Cup.
for Mertz.
Yeah.
Go for Mertz.
He play-
Go for Mertz.
The-
Go for
the-
Mertens.
Go for Mertens.
So you can
Just-
pick Cat.
Cat.
That's why I'm thinking.
Okay, I'm going to ask I'll go Mertens then, yeah.
Okay. I want
No, but
to.
centers is Brad Barrett.
Yeah. Did I select the one?
No, I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
Okay.
All right, 12 Brad Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 13 Bernard Jansen van Rensburg.
You know who's also quite handy is the Japanese one. What?
On the wing.
He played for the Sharks.
Riley or Dylan
Oh no,
Riley?
Dylan
No,
Riley.
Dylan Riley.
Oh, yeah.
No, but there's another wing.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Oh, no, I played with him.
Yeah.
Kotaro Matsushima.
Matsushima.
At for Santori.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So no, Dylan Riley 13. I'll
Yeah.
go Dylan Riley 13. I'll Brad. Okay, Brad get kicked out
Huh?
because he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Bernard Jansen van Rensburg.
Yeah.
He qualifies for England soon.
Yeah, he does.
Will he get selected?
Where was he?
I
At,
don't think
where was
so.
he at school? Where's he from in South Africa? Do you
I don't know. He played for the Cheetahs a
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah,
qualifies.
he's
He
the
qualifies
office
for
boy.
England very soon.
All right.
But it's loaded in that centre
I
position.
need a wing.
I've got one for you.
Trying to think. Oh well, Carl Stein.
I can give you
Carl
another
Stein
one.
and Duan van der Merwe.
I can give you another one.
Playing where?
Played for All Blacks.
Played for the All Blacks.
Mark Tillier.
Is he
No
South
way.
African?
I think
Is he
he's
South African
I think he's
born?
half South African. I'm not sure. I think
Half
half South African.
No ways.
Promise you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll select him at fullback then. It's either him or Mike Cat. at fullback.
Green.
At 5 back.
Darren Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's
Darren
also a
Green.
good one.
Yeah, you need to start thinking. My head's too old.
Guys, Ireland. Let's talk about Ireland now. Survived
Yeah.
the scare. Where's this Irish team going?
I think it's going to Crowley. I think they're gonna make the switch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that 10?
From
Jack Crowley,
Prendergast
Yeah.
to.
Is that all the issues? Just
no, no, it's not all
No,
that.
but I think
Also,
Is
I
Crowley
mean,
is from Munster?
He is
I
Munster,
thought
yeah.
so,
Yeah. No, I just think they seem more solid with him. I think it's a transition, not only from a player point of view, but also from a playing point of view.
Oh.
I don't think they've got the ability anymore to get that flow in their game with the dominance at times that they have with their forwards and getting into position and the shape and all of that. I don't think they, with the injuries they have, with the personnel that they currently have, they are struggling to get that right. So it's kind of a identity thing for them again to say, okay, what is our identity? How do we want to play? And who are the players that will be able to deliver on that? And I just think with Crowley there, he brings a little bit more confidence, I suppose, in terms of his all-round game versus a Sam Prendergast that's fantastic from an attacking point of view when they're going forward and when you've got flow in your game. But besides that, I think they do have some question marks, and he's still young as well. And hopefully he grows through and learns.
Do they have the ability to actually go grind it out? If you take into account like how dominant Italy pack was in certain areas of the game, we know when we play Ireland, the most surprises you always is their physicality.
Yeah.
On the weekend, I don't think that was quite there at all. You look at it, number 10 for me. If you play that game, you've got to have one of the best 10s. If you want to have that linked up game, you look at now, Finn Russell was on form the weekend, but also for Bath, how he makes other players play. We do it with Marnie Libbok or Sasha Feinberg and Ngimazulu when they're playing well. All the players around them shine. But also blindside flanker for them. They've had a stopgap there now for ages, where I think, and we used to say this about the All Black side, when Jerome Kano moved on, who's going to be the next blindside flanker? And it's taken them a long, long time to find someone to replace. But I think it's such an important role. And we see Kalen Doris do the job of number 8 as the big ball carrier, or Joe McCarthy when he's playing well. But you've got to be able to go through teams. You can't just play around them. And I think, it's probably for this Irish side, I think they've got enough, IP in that coaching group to go a different direction. But do they have the players and the skill sets to actually go, let's go grind out a victory this weekend, and we're going through the guts? Which, I don't know if the public wants that. Yeah. If they're so accustomed to that Leinster Irish type of play, high tempo, tight attack, a lot of passes. Do you go one step back and you just go truck it up and bully a bit, and you have Crowley at 10 and Gibson Park, and you kick her high up the field and you put sides under pressure? I don't know if that's maybe the next step for them.
I think there's a bit of scar tissue still from the Bok game. I think the effect of that game, psychologically in a way, to those players and the collective as a team, I think it's still there. And now suddenly you go up against Italy and you see Dyke Furlong, one of the best and one of the constants that they had within that team, flying around in the scrum. Then you start asking.
Furlong was rated the best tight head. You think of a World 15 and his name would generally pop up.
Also, you look at the Irish side. If he started, you think, okay, scrum's going to be
solid.
Yeah.
I will again just say, and we mentioned the names last. So they didn't start with Dyke Byrne this week.
Yeah.
They didn't start with Gibson Park.
Yes.
Still no Mac Hansen. Yes.
Yeah.
James Lowe was back in, but he didn't have the normal impact that he would have. No Bundy Aki, no Robbie Henshaw, no Hugo Keenan.
Yeah.
So those are
big names.
Those are big names, and suddenly you put them back in that team, and it looks like a totally different team.
Yeah.
So we need to take that into account. But they're going through a big slump, and like I said, a bit of an identity crisis currently.
England this weekend, Twickenham. How do they go?
It's going to be a great game.
I think it's going to be a great game. They will fire up. I mean, you don't win 12 games in a row by being a bad side. And this would hurt because, you enter a season thinking, okay, how long is this run going to last? Sometimes, actually, when that monkey's off your back, you've had your bad game now, then you just go up and at the next one. You sort of go, okay, what did we do wrong last week? What was the causes thereof? Let's problem solve. And the hunger that they might not have had against Scotland, I mean, that will be back there. The fixture doesn't get better. So it's actually set up beautifully for this weekend for absolute cracker.
Ireland lose this. I'm trying to think now of Ireland. Ireland go down now. England win. They're back in the mix. France play Italy, so then they stay top. So Ireland, this is a survival game for both.
For both England
both-
and Ireland.
both
Ireland, yeah.
England and Ireland.
It's survival
yeah.
time now.
Yeah.
So 5 games into Six Nations this year. So prior to Wales, France playing on Sunday, every single team except France have lost a
They've
game.
lost the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so five games in. So it's wide open, but there's also only one front runner in terms of it's a chasing pack versus
I mean,
France.
for neutral, I mean, to have the Six Nations keeping us interested till the end. Does Italy have it in them
To beat France
to beat France?
in France.
Look,
In
I
France?
called Scotland, England last week.
Yeah.
I called it.
to say again,
I called it. I called it.
Yes.
I said Scotland are going to beat England, and I was right.
the Shimmy, the visionary.
I called it.
You did.
Yeah. So you're saying Italy to beat France?
I'm
calling
not,
it.
I'm not saying
Wait,
that.
You're calling it.
I posed
Call it.
I posed the question.
I
Can they?
don't want to call it.
Okay, we'll get there now. Chaps, look, Wales, France. I'll just go through the facts here quickly.
Yeah.
So the score 54-12. In front of their lowest ever Six Nations crowd with over 15,000 seats unsold. They've lost 23 of their past 25 internationals. 13 straight Six Nations defeats. Will they finish this with 0 points? The Six Nations. They're conceding 7 to 8 tries a game.
Yeah. Did you watch their
42
defense?
tries in 6 games.
Did
And
you watch-
Steve Tandy.
It's the way that they concede as well.
Did you watch the defense on the weekend? So tight.
Yeah.
So tight. I mean, you defend them all. One pass, cross kick. The last man's
Yeah.
25 in. Then France, they don't have the most subtlety, but basically 9, 10, just a long pass with a little swivel. You take out 12 defenders from a wide ruck. And then some errors where it just reeks of desperation. They get a turnover. Adam Beard picks it
Yeah,
up from the base.
I wanted to make the exact.
But when did he make the kick?
And he tries to make a grabber.
Misses it,
Concedes a try. You can't see them changing that around. Personnel is one thing, but then also, coaching's got to be the other. And the detail, it seems so far off on the weekend that, I mean, it's odds on for them to, go through the Six Nations without recording a win.
How did they turn it around?
Yo, if only we had the answer to
answers.
that. I honestly don't know, Shimmy. Schalk just questioned 2 things. 1, players having the personnel, and 2, the coaching. And at this stage, they're lacking in both. So if will you just magically get more players and different players that can do the job that'll be so much better than the players that they currently
They don't have this player.
And the answer is no, they don't. Can you adjust your coaching? Yes, you can. You can improve that, but does that mean they need to bring in other people? Do the guys that they have the skill set to be able to transfer the right kind of information to these players, and do they have the ability to implement? So many questions to ask, and it's just so difficult to see any shining light in all of this.
The reason why I coach defense first is that's how you give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
They would be, we statistically, we look at sides, 22 entries, conversion rates. They'll probably be the best in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't
They
create
just need
as
to get
many,
there, yeah.
but they don't get there. But also, you cannot concede 52 points. So your detail in and around breakdown, defense, you've got to show, these top attacking sides you're playing against, you've got to put them under pressure. You can't be so passive or slow or narrow that you allow players like Dupont, Bielbeare, Atisogbe to just run at you. I mean, you're going to be under massive. Jalibert was exceptional on the weekend.
he's so good.
He's on form at the moment.
But also, any international player, top player, attacking player now with time on their hands and a narrow defense is going to unlock it. So you look at, what Italy's going to pose. You look at Scotland's attack. You look at what Ireland's got, and you go like, okay, but how are they going to compete?
Yeah.
against world-class attack and not world-class defense. So, I don't know. If they do get a victory, it will be just because of heart. Absolute heart.
But where?
And that is, I think victory is even, so far away for them to be able to get a victory. I think it's just being able to compete. And you do that purely from, by how you just mentioned, it's go in with an attacking mind. This Six Nations should be a success, or should have been a success for them if they get 5 losses, but the points difference, at the end of the Six Nations is minus 40 or minus 30.
Yeah.
Now they're conceding 40 and 50 per game. So it's not just in the end result, it's rather by the way that they are losing at the moment, and it needs to be better, because you're not just going to run yourself out of trouble there. You need to have at least a wall where it's guts, where it's getting off the ground, where it's work rate, you're just making tackles, you're just trying to stop them. You play a conservative game, you kick it in the corners, you try and push them, try and kill time, etc. And then after that, maybe it's a wet game, you get a charge on, you win a game.
Yeah.
And then suddenly psychologically you're in a totally different space, and then you can start building from there. But it's the gap now is just way too big.
I suppose they need to focus on. They need to be good at something. It's not set piece. It's not attack. It's not kicking. It's definitely not defense.
So first thing,
there's nothing.
It's mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
So skill set, attack, those things. Coaches can make you better over a long period of time. That takes long. The mechanical stuff, defense, setup, breakdown, scrums, more lineouts. That's got to be competing with the best in the world, and that's what you got to work on. That gives you a base. After the base, the evolution starts. At the moment, the problem for them is with their basics, mechanical stuff is poor.
For the French standout players,
Jalibert.
I thought Oliver was good.
Oliver was good.
I thought he was brilliant.
What did he play? Flank on the weekend
No,
or
he's
lock?
lock.
He played lock. I thought he was exceptional.
Was it the first try? He could have scored it
He
himself.
scored it himself.
I thought he was brilliant.
Outside backs.
Yeah.
I mean, even those two new midfielders, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Play without the
12
big names.
made his debut. Scores a try on debut.
Scores a try on debut.
They're building depth.
Ramos has got some lovely touches out the back.
Yeah.
And then Bilbere at the Schalk.
Bilbere is on
Rugby
fire,
scores tries. So, I mean, if that's your base, having Dupont, Jalibert in his form currently, and Ramos, pulling the strings from an attacking point of view, and that pack that they are selecting now with 5 loose forwards in there, they're looking very good.
Look, the only thing I'm not convinced about is their scrum. I think they've got depth everywhere else.
Yes.
I don't think they've got...
And
They've
which
got
team
hardcore
in the
props.
Six Nations will test them most in terms of that?
England.
And Italy.
Yeah, we're building it up.
You're building up a storyline. I just don't think... I think the rest, they've got depth, they've got loose forwards. Like Garrick wasn't playing, Luku's still there.
Yeah.
And Tamak was out.
Jagu got to start this weekend.
Deporte wasn't there. The inside centre, is it me?
Mofana.
Mofana's not there. But Pinot's still not there.
Yes.
But for,
not selected.
Aldred, not selected.
selected.
Aldred's still not there.
Aldred not
Aldred's
selected.
not
So
selected.
The front row for me is where I think if they had to play the Springboks, that scrum would be a target for the Boks.
yeah.
That's a game changer.
The scrum is a target every time
For the
Boks play.
Springboks, it doesn't change anyway. Okay, guys, they've got what's going to be the toughest game? They've got Scotland at Murrayfield or England in Paris. Scotland and Murrayfield is an interesting one.
Yeah, but there's like for like.
Yeah.
So Scotland will take on France with
Don't
an
have the power game,
attacking game,
Yeah.
and France can match that any day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it becomes a physical game, then I don't think Scotland has
I think Italy is going to put them under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakdown, scrum, more.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tougher fixture than
Then
what we think. Not playing Paris,
Yeah.
playing somewhere else.
In Lille.
They're playing Lille. I don't know if they can.
The French
actually
jury
do
play
it.
better away from Paris.
Toulouse, they were good. We played
Yeah.
them there
Yeah,
once. The
remember that
Rastu Masani game.
That's the Missani game.
Yeah.
But I agree.
still
It'll be
doing
way
recovery from like
tighter than
we
what
think,
we think.
but
I don't think Italy will beat
No, I
France,
think-
but it'll be a contest.
And then that English game.
Yeah. Especially if it took the decider.
Yeah.
If it goes according... Look,
That
England,
is
Ireland, for me, I'm nervous for England for this one.
100%.
At Twickenham. This weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be.
No, I mean, it's.
you're staring at me. You're not saying it.
You said should be. I
said it
I think
should
so.
be.
Okay, guys, it's Betway section now. It's quite an interesting one, okay? Last week we put 300 Rand bets on, and the results are in. I won
Flicky voted for
1,290.
me, eh?
And you won.
Yeah, off 300, thanks Scotland beating England. Flicky put 300 on France to beat Wales by 40.5 points.
And they
one
won by
point.
42.
Yeah, exactly. So 1 point,
Lovely.
1,200.
Lovely,
And
Flicky.
I missed out.
Yeah,
By 1
1 point.
point.
So, Jean, you put $300 on Ireland to beat Italy by 14 points. 1 point.
Seven.
off winning.
It was 7, eh?
It was 7. I was going, when James Lowe intercepted, I was like,
Finish it, boy.
So I'm in first place with 1,790. Scala's second with.
and you're so humble. You're
What?
so humble.
I called it.
Yeah.
I called it. Okay. 1,700 Scala. Jean, $500. Don't worry, boy. You can come get a loan if you want. But with this bet for France to win the Six Nations, it's very much. That was the good bet, though. No, but we never thought Scotland were going to lose to.
No, but you
beat
know,
England.
you should start thinking.
You called it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What are we putting our 300 Rand bets on this week? John, do you want to do it or must I do it?
No, just do it.
Scotland to beat Wales by 40. Wait, Scotland to beat Wales by 14 points at an odds of 4.50.
No.
Could be bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's going to be bigger than that.
Okay, we'll leave that. Scotland to beat Wales at a handicap of minus 26.5 at odds of 2.70. Nah, it's too low. Okay.
Might be a good bet, but
Italy at a handicap of 18.5, meaning they have to lose by less than 18 points.
And?
at odds of?
We would tell you, they haven't put the odds on here.
Well,
Please
that
put to
doesn't
bed,
help.
right? Yeah.
That doesn't help.
France to beat Italy by 14 points. Ooh, at an odds of 6.60.
I'm going
That's
there.
attractive. That's
That's a
attractive.
good bet.
That's a
I'm
good
also
bet.
going that one.
That's
I'm going the
attractive.
same one.
And then the last game?
Ireland to beat England. This is
Call it
at an
Jimmy.
odds
Come
of
on.
6.20.
That's so
Come on,
bad.
I'm calling it again. I'm calling it again. Just follow me.
So sorry, I just want to understand this correctly. So at the beginning of the Six Nations, you went England to win the Six Nations, okay?
And I was betting
and then in week
against
2, you go Scotland to
I
beat
tricked them.
England.
I tricked the English. They were watching.
And then in week 3, you go
Against England.
Ireland to beat England.
No, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Okay.
Come on, Ireland. Okay, England to beat Ireland at a handicap of minus 11.5 at odds of 1.80. Nah,
No, that's not a bet.
it's not a bet.
We're going big.
We're going Italy less than
8 to 14.
Between 8 and 14.
8 to 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Those are the good. Geez, England, Ireland to beat England. That's good. No, I'm not going to change.
Don't
change.
Don't change.
Don't change.
Don't ever
Don't
change.
change.
Don't you ever
Don't,
change.
don't
I
you
mean.
ever change. But
Okay,
I can
guys,
promise you, England's not then winning the Six Nations for you.
Are
sir.
you this weekend, URC?
No. Off weekend.
I'm doing Varsity Cup. Obviously started this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week I'm doing Monday Varsity Cup.
Which game?
Is it Marty's Tucks? Marty's Picker? Marty's playing someone. That's
Okay.
Stellenbosch.
So you've done your research clearly. Toss
It's
night,
only
varsity
next
cup.
week.
It's only in a week. It's only
Good luck to all the
plenty of time.
varsity cup guys. Are you commentating or are you on the
I'm
side?
commentating.
Nice.
Enjoy.
I'll need to stay
I
quiet
tell you
for
what,
a couple of days to find words.
It's the warmest commentary box you'll ever be in your life.
I can
Lovely.
imagine.
You're going to be
Can't wait.
sweating
Today.
like anything. Yeah.
Today is hot.
If you have a day like this, you'll pass out in that commentary box. That's
Oh,
how
really?
hot it is. Yeah.
That's probably
So
why
just
they
be
got me
prepared.
and not you doing it.
Ouch.
Ouch. Okay, on that note, guys, that's another episode of the Boks Unpacked. Six Nations Rugby this weekend coming up. Catch all the action live on your World of Champions Super Sport. Thank you very much to Schalk and Jean de Villiers from the Scaliano. Catch you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.